Incredible flavours, even better stories. One pour, 10 minutes. Aussie bourbon lovers sharing bourbon with Australia.
I don't know what's funnier, your facial expressions or the pop of the bottle.
What? I don't know what do you mean is funny about that. Here we go. This is a special one.
Oh, this is a incredibly delightful one.
Come on, tell good people.
We're drinking a Stagg.
Oh, I poured you so much.
Oh, I'm so lucky.
It's not just any Stagg, actually. This is a Stagg Jr, which for the people, like the fan boys and girls at home, Stagg Jr was discontinued, so you can't get a new bottle of Stagg Jr anymore. It's just called Stagg.
I know, and I watch the bottle go down and down each time, we bring it out for a special occasion or just have a really, really good bourbon. And it makes me a little bit sad how low the bottle is actually getting.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that was quite a good cheers noise. Better than the cork pop. Can I... So I love Stagg. The other night, we were so lucky, a few weeks ago, really it was, to go to Goodwater in Melbourne, and Drew Mayville, who's the Master Blender at Buffalo Trace, whose job it is to make the Stagg, and he made this one, blended it up. He makes all of their good stuff. Him and his team of blenders do an amazing job. And if you like the way that Buffalo Trace has tasted for the last, say, 20 years, or Buffalo Trace products, or Sazerac products as well, it's bigger than that.
Their goal is to make it even better.
He's the one who's doing it, and they're doing some incredibly innovative things. I really like Stagg. I really do.
Yep. It's delicious. But one of the things I love is that the flavour stays in your mouth for a long time.
He talked about it like it sticks to your tongue.
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it.
On the nose, what are you getting? For me on this one, so this is... I can't remember the number for when it was released. It's 130 proof or 65%. So this is a really potent, very high alcohol. I think it just comes straight out of the barrel. I think they might do some like basic filtration, but not anything crazy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The other night he taught us a new trick for when you're nosing. He said something, because I always nose it with your mouth open. That's what, when we were in Kentucky, everyone would say, nose it with your mouth open. But he said something along the lines of have your mouth, like, was it partly closed and then breathe in?
This is
and
compelling
then,
content from you. Do you want me to tell you what he told you?
Yeah, tell us.
He said you can start with your mouth closed, but then open it and draw the air through.
It was just different because I normally just nose it with my mouth open.
It's going to be very hard to demonstrate if you're listening to it, but you start by breathing through your nose and mouth, close, then open it up and let the air flow all the way through.
Yeah.
You're kind of creating like a circular motion of the flow of the air.
There you go. You said it much better than me. Probably made no sense.
And you do get extra interesting characteristics. I think part of the thing you can do is try lots of different of these techniques that you kind of hear from around the places and try all the different things. The other one that, if you're interested in this, if you feel like you're getting too much of heat from something, at Old Forester they said that you can blow across the top of the glass like this. And it blows the fumes off the top of the alcohol.
Well, because then you don't get that
which
kind of
lets
alcohol.
you just smell the flavour then, so you're not going to get kind of what feels like a burn in your nose.
Yeah. He also was saying that trying different nostrils. Try your left nostril and then your right nostril.
Yeah, that was a really interesting one, actually. He said that your nostrils cycle every few hours so that one is
more open than the other.
And that's just actively always happening. Because I've seen this happen. Oh, my God, I definitely noticed it there.
Yeah.
Can you tell now that he's told you that?
Yes. Now that he's said that, it's so obvious, but then you're like, you're kind of that weirdo that sits there and puts your bourbon from one side to the other.
And actually, that's quite interesting because now that the flavours I'm getting are different, I'm getting white, like I'm getting a vanilla ice cream. So on this, sorry, this has been 4 minutes of not very much interesting information, except for about how to taste bourbon. How
to nose a bourbon. That's interesting information, especially if you've got a Stagg in your class.
Yeah, that's true. And so a bit older, it's going to be a marriage of delicious barrels. I get a lot of oak on this. A lot of oak
and vanilla. I feel like I'm like baking and getting the when you get the vanilla stick and it's like really vanilla-y.
I'm going with like a vanilla ice cream in a cone. Oh. All right, and I'm going to drink some. but it's going to stick to your tongue a bit because of the way they choose not to filter it.
It really does. It's almost like not honey sticky, but like it really sticks to your mouth.
Fred Minnick encourages you to use the term adhesive for that.
Oh.
Like the idea that it's adhesive, it
Doesn't sound nice,
adheres
though.
to your tongue, which I think is really accurate. It kind of, it sticks to your tongue like sticky tape. Like if you've got gaffer tape and we're able to gaffer tape something to your tongue.
But then as you leave it
In a
your mouth,
really good way because the flavour then, that means that the finish is so long it's going to stay there forever. And Drew, I learned so many things the other night. Drew said that sometimes that the writers will taste something, put the glass down and wait 5 minutes and then write about what it tastes like.
Oh, because it's almost like the flavours are moving around your mouth, like at the front of the tongue to the back, and then it's like, I'm like getting it on the top of like my palate. It's like, it's delicious.
It's really delicious. Really full on and complex. A lot of complex flavours, and the fact that it's kind of sat in the barrel, and they've picked the barrel from a particular warehouse, from a particular place and all that kind of stuff. Or the barrels, rather, they've kind of used to create this flavour. To give you that really complex, interesting
It's almost
finish.
like thick. It's like compared to other bourbons, which are quite light. For a liquid, it's like quite thick. That's how I would describe it.
And he spoke about it
My
in this
expert
way.
opinion.
No, I really agree with the thickness, but like the stickiness or the adhesion or whatever is the thing that I kind of really can relate nicely to, because it's like you don't have to consume very much of it. You can really take your time with it.
Well, it means that when you're paying a lot for a good bottle of Stagg, that you can consider the fact that you won't just down it like some other bourbons that you can drink quite quickly and quite easily. Whereas this, it's like a long burn. It's like a slow burning candle, as opposed to the quick ones. It's like,
sorry.
You enjoy it for longer.
Yes, enjoy it for longer.
Unless
And you get that example of that Kentucky hug, which is that warmth kind of that
in your
runs
chest.
down. Yeah.
You
And it's
definitely
nice
get
and
it in your
slow.
chest.
Yeah. Beautiful. So,
I agree with you.
what were the other things that
I don't
Drew
disagree.
said that were interesting for you?
Well, the nose thing, like the different things I learned about nosing it were good because, you know, my introduction to all that had kind of brought back what I learnt in Kentucky last year, whereas he gave new stuff. So I was like, that was fun. What else did he tell us that was good? Like,
What about the? What did he say? 5% of all bourbons are wheated, and all the rest of them are like the flavour grain is wheat, whereas 95% is rye.
yeah, there was the small amount of wheated bourbon, which I actually am a wheated bourbon fan. I've discovered, like even in that tasting, it was the wheated ones that I like.
Wellers, weren't they? Yeah.
I find with the rye, there's that kind of, there's quite a bite or a burn is how I describe it. Like that, it's kind of, you know, that after kind of, well, yeah, I call it a burn, but it's like a nice, it's not, you know, anything terrible, but that nice kind of alcoholic burn afterwards comes in the rye ones, I find. Whereas the wheated ones are much smoother and more elegant to me.
Yeah, definitely smoothness. I reckon you're getting spice confused with alcohol heat, because I think
the spiciness of the rye. Maybe that's the word I'm
which is
looking
on the
for.
front of your tongue. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what. I think I learned this the other night as well.
It's the
The front of
heat
your tongue
and
is the rye spice.
Yeah, and it's that, spiciness, heat. I call it all, you know, I don't know. I'm just describing what happens in my mouth.
Yeah, that it gets all hot and.
It's hot and you know, but it's a good heat and a good spice. Like when you have really spicy food, there's that balance between it's really nice and then it's too hot. Whereas this is the really nice. But I find the wheated just has that very smooth, you don't get that spice on your tongue as much. And it's personal preference, really, what you like and what you don't like.
There was this thing that happened as well where, as he spoke, I think both you and I had this lovely moment of being transported. This makes us sound weird.
We're
It makes
weird,
me sound
Dave.
weird.
You definitely
Being
are weird.
transported back to Kentucky because of his sweet humility, funny gentleness and warmth.
Yep.
The way that he spoke about whiskey in a way that was extremely unintimidating. If you want to mix it with Coke, mix it with Coke. If you want ice or water, do it. All those things that make me love the thing about bourbon.
It's that culture of bourbon of drink it how you like it. There's no, this is how it should be done. It's drink it how you like it, and like actually drink it with the people you love. Like have fun with friends. Don't put it on the shelf and, you know, own that bottle that's never opened that's worth $1 million. Enjoy it, and that I love that part about bourbon. I don't know all people do, but I do.
It was a cool night, a really cool opportunity to hang out with someone super important in the bourbon world and really influential with Buffalo Trace and so many bourbons we love.
Yeah.
So here's to drinking more of his delicious blends, and hopefully he keeps doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you're connected with us on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, and stay connected with us by clicking subscribe on your favourite podcast app.